or 1 through 4 here. It's that time of the year, I guess, again. It's time for a lot of the speculation for the March ban list for 2012 to be out. I think Konami needs to do a major overhaul on this ban list, or else I'm going to be really irritated, and Nats is going to be horrible. Last year, Nats was good. The only issue that one really had was all of the play card set for back row. Here go, try to get around it. Anyways, here's the deck list. Not the deck list, the ban list. What I would do. First card that I think needs banned: Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Beginning. This card turns games around like no other card. You play it unless your opponent has something, which usually if you're smart, you're clearing the back row out, you kill them. It's just too good. It's easy to summon. It's semi-nomi, so after you summon it the first time, you can just reborn it and stuff. You can banish face-down monsters. You hit twice for 3,000. It's honestable. It's a warrior, so I guess you can warrior returning alive it if you want to run it in your deck. It's ridiculous. This card, if it either forces whatever back row they're doing, they have to negate this or they'll die. Or if they don't have back rows, they always die. This card needs banned. It was banned for the reason in the first place, and it was a dumb idea to bring it back into this game. Next card needs banned: Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn lets you win games that you have no business winning. Oh, look at that, I top deck Reborn. Derp, let me bring back whatever I feel like it. It combos with so many different cards. Reborn is just way too powerful. It needs to go away. We have Call of the Haunted at 2. If you really want to use a card that will bring something back, run your Call of the Haunted. We have Limit Reverse for the smaller cards. You do not need Reborn. It makes the game way too fast, and it lets you reverse games you shouldn't be able to reverse. Next card banned: Sangan. Sangan is ridiculous. Tour Guide makes this banning necessary. Okay. Searching for anything with 1,500 or less attack points is good to begin with. Being able to tutor this out of the deck with Tour Guide makes it completely ridiculous. You can combo it with a bunch of things to get the search off. And you know what? Even if you don't want the search, still getting it out of the deck so you can bring it back and search again, or it still gets you a simple rank 3, which going for a Tour Guide into a rank 3 is fast and it's ridiculous, but being also having the potential option of, I don't want to go for a rank 3, I just wanted to pull out my Sangan and sack it for something, or, my Sangan's getting killed, look at that, I can just search out. And even if you don't, setting Sangan, searching out your Tour Guide or your Effect Veiler or your Max C is ridiculous. Card needs to go. Next card banned: Scapegoat. Scapegoat lets you do a lot of ridiculous things. Lone Fire plus Scapegoat equals Trish automatically. I think Scapegoat needs to go. There's way too many things you can combo off of it. It's relatively high on my priorities of needs banned. I think it's a little ridiculous. But if the other 3 get banned, I can put up with this at 1. And this last card that I think needs banned is part of my idea of what needs to happen to the plant engine. Ban Lone Fire Blossom. Lone Fire Blossom allowing you to get out either any of the Dandelion, Spore, Glow Up Bulb, and the Mystic Tomato if you're running something that needs the tomato part of the engine, which in older days you did need it. It needs to go away. That way you can slow down the plant engine so it isn't like, look at that, I top Lone Fire Blossom into Dandelion, instant Synchro Summon. Yeah, it needs to go away. Okay, next onto my limited section. Okay, Mystical Space Typhoon. Okay, this format has become, besides recently with the Inzectors, because of the way they work, but before the Inzectors, it was, I can't set any back row, pretty much, because I'm going to have to worry about getting hit with MSTs, or the triple MST or the Heavy Storm. Heavy Storm is needed so that it is in a 5 back row format. The triple MST makes it a 0 back row format. Look, for the longest time, The trap card lineup in most decks was Torrential, the 3 Solemns, and Trap Dust Shoot. That's 5 cards. That's unacceptable. I mean, even now it's pretty much just like adding 2 Fiendish Chains to it. I think 10 is an ideal number of trap cards that should be in a deck, or around 10. And being able to set like 3 trap cards should be safe, not be like, oh crap, I set 3 trap cards and I got Heavy Stormed, I lose. 2 Mass Destruction cards. If you want to take care of back row better, side your Dust Tornadoes, side Trap Stuns. 1 MST is all you really need. That's my opinion on the matter. Next, Royal Tribute needs limited. Royal Tribute is ridiculous. Gravekeepers are a deck I have personal issues with. I do not like the way they play. I think it is very... I don't think you should be able to... I think Necro Valley is a little bit overpowered. But I think this card is even worse. Royal Tribute. A card that lets you look at your opponent's hand and discard cards from it. We had one of those before. It's called Confiscation, and it's banned. I guess because it's taking up... needing to require Necro Valley, so you can only really run it in Gravekeepers or Skill Drain Valley. Makes up for the 1,000 life points, but it just doesn't let you discard 1. You dump their entire hand, and sure, if you're playing Gravekeepers intelligently, you don't have a hand. That's the thing. You're like, oh, let me set my entire hand. Royal Tribute, nothing happens. Yeah, exactly. That's dumb. Next, I think Gravekeeper's Stell needs limited. Stell, letting them bring back every single, whatever they feel like, whatever they need. Oh, what's that? My Necro Valley died? Oh, look at that. Let me grab my Commandant back. Or, oh, look at that. I need a Spy. Grab a Spy, grab a Recruiter, grab a Descendant, grab a Recruiter. It's dumb. Needs limited. Next. Master Hyperion. Master Hyperion is exactly what Agents needed. They took it way overboard. Being able to specialist by removing an agent from either your field, your hand, or your graveyard made it too powerful. I mean, you don't, like, technically you don't even have to waste your normal summon to, like, be like, oh crap, you have Kaiko on the field, which you would think would be a good countermeasure. Oh, what's that? I have agent in my hand. Here you go. Bye bye Kaiko. Pop. That's dumb. If you limit it to 1, they'll still have a good number of boss monsters, but it won't be absurd. Like, you shouldn't be able to have 3 Hyperions, 2 Christias, 2 Drags, 1 BLS, 1 Gores, 1 Chaos Orc, and it all work coherently in one deck. No. Limit this to 1. Next. This is actually supposed to be a wind-up mouse, but I don't have any anymore. I traded them away. The wind-up deck is a little ridiculous, and Mouse just facilitates it. If you limit Mouse, you won't kill the deck, but you won't be like, oh, what's that? I'm gonna destroy your entire hand. Like, Zen Mighty, they need it because it lets them search out their wind-ups, and that's their thing. And they do need the Hunter to do their little gimmick thing, but if you take the Rat down to 1, they can hit the first card initially, get the Rat out, they can hit a second card. They won't be able to loop you and wipe out your entire hand in 1 turn. I think that is dumb, but I figure Rat Bat sounds the same. Wind up Rat, limited. Next card needs limited. Rescue Rabbit. Rescue Rabbit is a little ridiculous. I think the Rabbit deck, being able to basically do a 1-card, let me pull out 2 huge-ass monsters, that's either a Solemn Judgment on wheels or a Herald of Orange Light on wheels, is a little crazy. I think, and also the Verz version of the deck that Japan has, where they, instead of the second, where we would use the Cabalzols, they use the Verz Heliotrope to get Bahamut and stuff out, is a little ridiculous. I think if you limit the Rabbit, we will kill some of the little retarded things they can do. And like the regular Jurak deck is fine. They don't need this. And then last card limited, Levier the Sea Dragon. Levier is a little good. The decks that can run 2 of him are make him look like, oh, let's make him completely ridiculous. The decks that use two of them, it disgusts me. One of him is okay, and you can get around the one, but like, oh, let's see, Inzectors can use two of them. Technically, the Dark Worlds can use two of them. You could probably use two of them in Agent Angel. Limit him, it'll just restrict some of his derpiness. That's all my limited cards. Onto my semi-limited cards. Semi-limit Gravekeeper's Recruiter. He's a little good. I think we should I want to try out semi-limiting him, because if you take away the Stell, I think if you limit the Stell, and you don't have to like limit Recruiter, and if you have two Recruiters, you can still get the searches off and do their little engine, but it won't be like, oh, look at that, I got another Recruiter, let me grab whatever I feel like. I mean, thinning your deck by 3 cards is a little crazy. Next, semi-limit Gravekeeper's Commandants. I was originally considering saying he should be limited, but I think if you do the other things to them, they might need him. The biggest problem I have with him is the fact that you can kill multiple cards per turn as long as you have Gravekeepers. If he was once per turn, I don't think he would need hit, but he's a little good. Next, the next part of my thinking what needs to happen to the plant engine. Semi-limit Dandelion. Okay, I know a lot of people are going to crap their pants over this, but I think if you take away Lone Fire Blossom, semi-limiting Dandelion lets the plant engine still be somewhat viable as long as you keep everything else the same. Like, keep Debris Dragon limited, keep Formula Synchron limited, keep Hyper Librarian limited, keep all the ridiculously busted cards limited. And like, then you'll be like, oh, Quick Draw. People start using the Quick Draws and stuff again. I loved the Quick Draw deck because it was balanced to a certain extent, but those other issues that they got taken care of. And, like, it isn't the worst card in the world. Like, oh, it summons 2 tokens. That's really good. But if you take care of a lot of, like, the searchable and derpy options that make it into a super fast synchro engine, I think it'll be a little bit more balanced. Ideally, I would have liked to try the whole banning Lone Fire, bringing Dandelion back to 2 thing in a September format, but I just want to see this done, just to test it out. Next, semi-limited. Blackwing, Kalutha, Moonshadow. Blackwings need a little bit of a boost. They're pretty much non-existent in the TCG because they aren't fast or strong enough. I think Blackwings are a good skill-based deck that, as long as you don't do anything retarded, you can, like, good players will win with Blackwings, and bad players will obviously be bad with Blackwings. Well, you can tell when bad players are playing Blackwings. I think Kalutha 2 would make them give them a little bit of a boost to sort of see a little bit more play. Next, semi-limit Grapha. I think Grapha at 3 is a little ridiculous. Being able to bring him back all those times, he's what they needed, but at 3 I think he's a little overpowered. Keep him at 2, see what happens. I think it'll be okay. Next, semi-limited Inzektor Dragonfly. You can't limit Inzektor Dragonfly because you will kill the deck. If you semi-limit Inzektor Dragonfly, they won't be able to do the loop so many times. Also, basically, I want the loop to still work, but not as well. Because they still need to be able to do what their deck is based upon. But they can't. It's like Blackwings when they first came out all over again. I think if you hit this to 2, along with my other suggestion, it'll be good for the format. My last suggestion, semi-limit Inzektor Hornet. While they only need 1 Hornet to get their combo going, if you semi-limit it, it's harder for them to be, oh, oops, you crowed my Hornet. Or, oh, you did something to my Hornet. Oh, well, I'll just grab my 3rd Hornet or my 2nd Hornet. Now, like, it's, oh, crap, you hit my 1st Hornet. I gotta be real careful about my 2nd one or else I'm in huge trouble. And if you limit Levier, they can keep infinitely bringing it back. So that's what I think should happen to the format. There was one card that I was iffying around on, but after a lot of discussion with my friend, I decided against saying it should be limited again. which was Royal Oppression. Royal Oppression looks really good on paper to come back. The problem with Royal Oppression is the fact that once whoever controls the Royal Oppression pretty much controls the way the entire game is going to go from there. Because, like, think about it, like, Samurai were maining Oppression because after they got all their shit done, they'd flip up the Oppression and then just protect it for the rest of the game and their opponent would be screwed. Like, Oppression seems good. It seems like it would do what's necessary, but all it ends up being is a lockdown on your opponent turning the game around, which I think games should be able to be turned around, just not in a derpy way. Just put what you think below in the comments. Tell me your opinions. Don't flame like a retard. This is just my opinion and what I think this next list should be, and we'll see what happens. Anyways, this is Aura134, signing out.